So till the last session we have completed the seventh point, that is detailed explanation about select, deselect and previous selection. Is there any need to discuss about this point again?
I want to know about invert selection, sir. I get problem in invert selection.
Inward selection.
Yes, sir.
Okay, means you are not getting what does mean by the inward selection. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah. So it's simple, Siranj. What inward selection means? Just right click on this set grid system. Okay. Suppose uh, let's say I want to select overhead tank level. So this is what overhead tank level. So I want to select this level, this floor. So go to select, go to select, go to story and select the OST level. Now say select. So all the elements present at OST level, OST story will be selected. Now what does mean by the inward selection? Inward selection means what? Whatever the things is in selection, whatever the things is in selection will be deselected and deselected things will be selected. Hello?
Yes, sir. Sir, on the same floor or for all floors, sir?
Sorry?
Deselected item is selected on same floor only. Yes.
Yes, yes. Say, go to select, just say inward selection. So
Hmm.
whatever the things is in selection will be deselected and deselected things will be selected. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Just say inward selection. See, remaining things will be selected, only the selected things will be deselected. Shiranj,
Oh. Yes, sir.
okay? So
Hmm.
that is the application of inward selection. Okay, now clear this all. So this is all done. Shall you move for the next point? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next, explanation about the commands of editing or correcting of existing model. Sometimes what happen after completion of the modeling and after completion of your all work in respect of your modeling, when you are going to analyze your structure, when you want to go for the analyze of structure, but you all know that before of that you have to check your model, and if you are looking for your model for its check, so you will get many warnings, many errors in your model. So how to rectify that modeling errors? So there may be different types of errors. So some of them we are trying to cover here. See, one is what? Aligning of the joints, frames and edges. What it means that, let's try to understand. Suppose the beam is there like this in plan. If you are talking, go to plan at any level, say, just clear this all. Now suppose we are talking about this one beam is there like this, uh, another beam by mistake I have modeled this like this, then another beam I have modeled by mistake like this. Actually what we want these all beams in the same line like this. I want these all beams in the same line along the same alignment. But by mistake, see here it is available in large scale. But if you are going to try to find in the model, so it is very small error is there. That is not possible to catch it easily. Okay. So this kind of situation suppose is there where you have modeled the beam like this. But now you want to correct this to keep all these beams in the same line like this. So how to do that? So very important point. Take the beam. Just close this. The first point. Now then click here. Then here. Then here like this. Now what my intention? I want to keep all these beams in the same line around the same alignment like this. Single. It is a by mistake I have modeled this away from each other. I want these all lines in the same alignment. So how I can do this? How I can do this? Okay, but before of that, see, if you are taking your cursor at any point here, so I want to find out the ordinate of this point. What is the ordinate? Means what? X and y. What is the ordinate? So where you will get the ordinate of this point, so that ordinate will be available here on this point and this point. Check the point, cursor at your required node, required point. So what is the ordinate of this point? Fast. Hello.
My x is
Yes.
minus 11.607x and
Yes.
y is 8.636.
And z is what? This is the what? Z is actually the level 8.4328. That will be available here also. Story level. At what level this point is there? Okay. So once you take your cursor at any point, so that ordinate will move here. That respective ordinate will be available here. So this is the point. So this is the point. Okay. It has considered this axis as x, as you can see here x, and this axis as y. This is the y, and z axis, vertical axis as z. Keep in mind. Now I want to keep these all beams in the same alignment, along the same line. Okay, so how I can do this? So go to, first select the frame, complete frame along with its joint, all the frames along with end joints. Then go to edit. In edit option you will be able to find align joint and frame. Check this option, and we want to align these all beams about x axis or y axis. Can anyone tell me about x axis or about y axis? What?
About x-axis.
How? We want to keep all the levels about y at same level. Are you getting?
Yeah.
It is understood or not? We want to keep all
Yes,
of
sir.
these frames in the same alignment about what?
Yes.
About y-axis. So you need to find.
Y-axis.
Okay, you have to decide which point is correct as per your requirement. Okay, I am saying that, yeah, this point is actually correct point. This is my correct point. I want to align all the beams about this point. Okay, so what is the ordinate? What is the y ordinate of this point? Fast.
9.1.
9.144. Okay, so just check this option and put 9.144. 9.144. Now say apply. Hello, now it's corrected.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
this
sir.
is the way how you can correct your model. Again, select these all and say delete. I am repeating the same procedure. First, this is the first point, first line. Second, I have model like this. Third, I have model like this. Then I have model like this. Okay. Now I want to keep all of this beam in the same alignment. I want to keep all of this beam in the same alignment like this. And my correct point is this point actually. Correct point is this. Okay, clear this all and take your cursor here. So what is the ordinate?
12.9.
12.9794. Why ordinate you have to look? Why ordinate you have to look? Okay, because we want to align about y. So it is what? 12.9794. So it will be what? First select the frames, also the joints, all the joints. 12.9794. So it will be what? 12.9794. Now say apply. Is it okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So this is actually the way. Now suppose, just say another way, just close this. This is the first point, the second point, like this and like this. Now I want to align these all lines in the same line. So how I can do this? How I can do this? So what we have to do, first select the frame, and the joints also you have to select. Along the joints you have to select the frames, and now at this time we need to look x-axis ordinate. So first decide which point is the correct point. So suppose this point is my correct point, and what is the ordinate is what? X you have to look. So minus 10.3632, here you have to look. I want to align these all beams about x-axis, okay. So what about x direction? So I am taking here minus 10.3632. So select all of this frame, align joints about, say, minus 10.3632. Now say apply. So as you can see, all the frames has been aligned along the one line. Understood? Just clear this all. Select these all and say delete. Next, another option is what? Trim frame. Suppose a frame is there like this. Just close this. The first point, one beam. Another beam is there like this. Then next beam like this. So what happened? Suppose by mistake you have modeled this beam beyond of this line. By mistake you have modeled this beam beyond of this line, beyond of this frame. So how to correct this? How to correct this? So what you have to do? First select the frame. Actually what we need to do? We need to trim this beam. We need to trim this excess portion. So how you can trim this? So first select the frame which you want to trim, which you want to short, and also select the frame up to which you want to trim. This is done. Then go to edit, go to align join frame object and set trim. Now say apply. So nothing will be there. Why? Can anyone tell me? We are not succeeded to trim the element.
Frame was not broken.
No, that's not a reason. Okay, see what actually the problem is that first select the frame, then select the frame up to which you want to break, up to which you want to trim. Next, it is actually confused. Okay, this frame you want to trim, but it is having two ends, this end also and this end also. It is not knowing about which end it has to trim the element. Am I right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So you need to define about which point, about which end you want to trim the element. So actually select the joint also. Now say apply. It is okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Again, let's try. Suppose I want to trim this frame, about this frame, then what? I want to frame this I want to delete, and I want to trim this part. What next thing I have to do first? Sorry, joint also you have to select. So define this joint also, because this frame is having two end. this end and this end. About which end you want to trim, that you also have to define. So select this joint and this end. Now say apply. So this is done. Suppose if you want to trim this frame, okay, clear this. I want to trim this frame up to this frame about this joint. Now say trim. So it will be trimmed. Now I want to trim this frame about this frame up to this frame about this joint. Now say apply. It is understood or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So this is all done. Now next, what is the application of, okay. What is the application of the extend command? Extend. So same procedure is there. Just clear this all. Take the new frame. Close this from here to here. Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. This kind of line is there. Okay. Now I want to extend this frame up to this frame. Then choose this option. Now say apply. Is there anything executed?
No, sir.
Hello? No. Why? Sorry.
Because joint is not selected.
Exactly.
Joint is not
Idab is actually confused about which joint, about which end it has to extend the element. So I want to extend this frame up to this frame about this joint. Now say apply. Is it okay? Then select this frame, then also the joint, then this frame up to this frame. Now say apply. I want to extend this frame up to this frame about this joint. Say apply. I want to trim this part. I want to trim this part about this frame and this joint, about this joint. Now option trim. Say apply. So it will be trimmed. This frame I want to trim about this frame. Now say apply. I want to trim this extended part up to this frame about this joint. Select this trim frame object. Now say apply. I want to trim all of this extended part about this frame, all these joints. Just say apply. I want to trim this frame about this frame, about this joint. Now say apply. Understood or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Rohit? Manisha?
Yes, sir.
Manisha, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
Understood? Kshitija?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. Coming back. So we have learned this entire dialog box, how to align, how to join, alignment about Z also possible. That is not much important. Okay. Then trim the frame, extend the frame. So these all topics we have covered. Now what next point is there? Move, joint, frame and shell. Very important. Very important. Select these all and say delete. See, if you want to delete anything, first select that by many methods, either by individually selection like this, either by dragging from right to left, making sure that all the elements should be inside of the box which you want to select. Okay, then just click here cross, delete in the quick access bar, or you can find it in the edit, delete. This is done. Now coming to this part, what is the application of move command? So go to editor. Suppose okay, yes sir. Okay, if I want to take this part here. I want to take this part here. Like this. So how you can do this? First select the element, go to edit, go to move join frame and shell. If you want to move the join, if you want to move the frame, if you want to move the shell, everything you can do from here. So choose this option. Who is there? Kindly mute your mic. Yeah. So first select the element, then go to editor, go to move join and frame, check this option. So many options are there. If I want to move the joint, let's say by -5 meter on left side, so just put -5. Now say apply in X direction. Hello, is it correct? Hello.
Yes, sir.
I want
Yes,
to
sir.
shift this element on right side by 5 meter. So select this frame and just say 5. Say apply. Again, I want to shift it on downside by -5. Just say 0. And in Y ordinate, put -5. Now say apply. By selecting this, say apply. So it is shifted downside. Now I want to shift it upside. Just select the element and now say +5. Now say apply. It is understood?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Now suppose
Yes,
I have to shift this point, this slab from here to, let's say, suppose just for example, this slab is not present here. I want to shift this slab from here to at this location. I want to shift this slab from here to here. But the problem is that I need to know what is the distance from this point to this point. Am I right? Then I can put that distance and then your slab will be shifted. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
What actually I want to shift this slab from here to here in X direction. Okay, but for shifting we need to have the distance. If you are having this distance, then you will be able to put that distance and your slab will be shifted by that distance. But that is the problematic. Every time you need to find the distance, then calculate the distance, then coming back, then putting the distance, then shifting the element like that. So ETABS has given another option. Just say 0. I want to shift this element. So pick 2 point option is there. Just click here. There is the start point. I want to pick it from here and I want to shift it this point here. By clicking over that, now say apply. Hello. It is understood?
Yes, sir.
How? Again I want to keep it back. Select the pick 2 points from this point to this point. Now say apply. If you want to shift it on upside, first select the slab, pick 2 points from here to here. Now say apply. So that will be shifted. If you want to shift it at here, so pick 2 points from here to here. This is also done. It is understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, if you want to shift this beam, suppose I
Yes.
want to shift this cantilever beam here. I don't want. I want to shift this beam from here to here. Okay. So how you can do this? Just clear this all. Select the frame. Pick 2 points from here to here. Now say apply. Again, I want to shift this beam from here to there, here at this point. So pick up 2 points from here to here. Say apply. It is understood or not? So how to execute this thing? First you have to select the frame, then click over the pick to point, then command now will be active. Define the first point from where you want to pick the element. From where you want to pick the element, click over that. Freely move to the point where you want to keep the element. So I want to keep the element here. Now click here. This is done. Coming back to this dialog box and now say apply to complete the work. It is understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is the way how you can shift the elements. Either you can shift the joints also, you can shift the frame also, you can shift the shell also, everything you can do. Suppose I want to shift this beam by 10 meter on right side. So just say 0 everything. Here in X direction I want to shift it by 10 meter distance. Now say apply. So that will be shifted by 10 meter on right side. Take it back, select the frame and just say -10. Now say apply. So that will be shifted back. It is understood or not? Now coming to next point. What next point? Importance of one story, all story and similar story. Very important point we are going to cover. So go to edit, say close and hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Is it visible to all of you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's try to understand what is the application of one story, all story, similar story command. Okay, and it's a very important command for the effective modeling of the entire structure and for the easy progress of completion of any project. Okay, so one story, all story and similar story. So these all options will be available here on right side bottom. One story, all story and similar stories. Try to understand one by one what is the application of all these options. So if you are working with the one story option, suppose I am a story, let's say plan, I am at 26th story, say apply. So this is what, there is a 3D view and come here. So plan at 26th story, say apply. So this is done. Now when I'm trying to click here on this slab, so how many selection is there? Hello? One shell is in selection.
Only one.
Okay, I'm just clicking here. In addition to that, so two shells are there, 8 edges. Okay, then click here. So it is what? 3 shells will be there in selection. So this is one kind of select and deselect option also that we have covered in the last session, but it is little bit different. Okay, it has some other applications. So first select over this. So one shell is in selection. Select here. Another shell is in selection. If you are working with the one story option, okay, I am changing it to what? All story option. We will discuss about the similar story later, but here is what? All story. Now see, I am clicking over this first slab. So what is going to be happen? 40 shells is in selection. Means at all the story from top to bottom for the same location, the selection has been done. Why? Because working with the all story option. I am selecting here. So all the slabs from top to bottom is in selection. Hello. All the slabs is in selection. Then click at the center. So for the center, all the slabs from top to bottom, it is in selection. So 40 plus 40 plus 40, this will become 120. Is it correct? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just right click on the window and show selected objects only, so that see, only these slabs is in selection. Top to bottom. All that slabs are in selection. All that slabs are in selections. Again go to plan at any level, say apply, just right click on the window and say show all object. So all the objects are in view. Again go back and say one story. So select this beam, only one beam will be in selection. Just click here, so only one beam in, two beams in selection. Only one additional beam will be in selection, so 3. Because we are working with the one story. Now suppose I want to select all the beams at of this location at this point. So what I have to do? Just change it to all story. So when I'm clicking here, so all the beams at this position at all the floors will be selected, as you can see here in the 3D view. Just right click on the 3D view and then say show selected objects only. So as you can see, only the beams of selected beams is in selection at all the floors. It is understood or not?
Yes, sir.
So this is what the as we can say the application of one story and all story. One story and all story. Okay. Suppose sometimes what happen? Okay. Select this. Show all object. Just right click on this window. Show all object. Everything will be there. I have to select only the 4 corner slabs at all the floors. 4 corner slabs at all the floors. So what option is there? Very difficult. If you are following this long way, go to select, go to select, go to object type. When you are clicking on the floor, say select, so that all the slabs will be selected. Then what? There is a very difficult to get it. So what another option is what? Say all story and then click on this first, then there, here and here, so that all the required slab will be selected from top and from top to bottom. And then right click on your window if you want to see only the selection, say selected objects, so it will be there like this. Take the 3D view. It is understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is actually the application. So whatever the things you are going to do by making the selection at one story, by making the selection say all, if you are working with the one story option, so whatever you are going to do at any floor, that will be executed only for that floor only for that floor. That's it. If you are working with the one story, whatever you are going to do at a particular floor, that will be executed only for that floor. But if you are working with the all story option, and if you are doing anything at any floor, if you are doing anything at any floor, that will be executed at what? At all the floors, because you are working with the all story option. Suppose go to plan, go to base level. So this is what is the base level, and at the base level I want to assign the support as fixed support. So see, with which option I have to work? Can anyone tell me? Either with all story or one story?
One story.
One story.
Okay,
One
so
story.
see, very good. Just click one story and drag from left to right, so that 24 joints will be selected. Good, very good. But by mistake, if you are not taking care and you are working with the all story, just drag from left to right. Let's see what is happening. What is happening?
All joints of all stories are selected.
Exactly, because you are working with this all stories. So it's very very important every time when you are practicing with the ETAP software, your concentration should always be on left side, bottom, as well as right side. Otherwise, see, you can understand, if you are assigning the fixed support or any kind of support to all the joints, so that will be completely wrong. So every time take care with which story option you are working, and you will be aware with this all later. Okay, but those who are new user for the ETAP software, so they should understand these things seriously. So your concentration will always be on right side bottom and left side bottom. I told you it earlier also, and I will remind you later stages in later sessions also, because it's very important. Okay, now clear this all. So this is understood for one story and for all story. So whatever you want to do at a particular story, if you are working with the one story option, so that will be executed at one story only. If you are working with what? One. But if you want to assign, suppose I want to assign the load to all these slabs. I want to assign the load to all these slabs at all floor. So it is very tedious job to do this step again and again 30 times. So these are first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor. I have to do the same thing for all the floors. So it is the good thing to work with the one story for every floor. First, okay, just say assign shell load, go to uniform, just put 5, say apply. Then move to the next floor, then select all these slabs, then go to assign shell load, go to uniform, put 5, say apply, then move up like that. So how many times I have to do? Hello?
Number of floors.
Equal to number of floors. Suppose 100 floor is there, so you have to do it 100 floors. So same thing, why you are spending your time? Why you are wasting your time? So option has given by the ETABS, say all story and select all of this slab in once. Then go to assign, go to shell load, go to uniform and put it as 5, just say apply. So at all the levels now it has been assigned. Move up, let's see, it has assigned to all the story. Understood? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So that is the application of one story and all story. Now coming back, what is the application of similar story command? Similar stories. Hello? Have you remember what? Do you have any idea what does mean by the typical story? What does mean by
Floors
the
having same
typical
height.
story? Sorry,
Floors having same height.
floors are having same height. Yeah, that is in respect of the height of the floor only. Okay, that's also correct. But the meaning of typical floor is little bit different. Can anyone tell me?
Same floor layout will be there for typical story.
Exactly. If we are getting the architectural plan of different floor, if the arrangement of the architectural plan of the different floors are looking same, at that time you can say that it is the typical floor plan. Okay, let's try to understand. Suppose a architecture plan is there like this. Just consider the drawing. This is not much perfect, but try to understand. Okay, so here suppose this is the bedroom, this is the bedroom, just for our understanding. This is the WC, this is the WC. Here it is also, this is a bedroom, this is bedroom, and this is WC, like that. And here we are having, this is the bedroom, this is the bedroom, and this is what, this is the WC, like that. And here is what, like that arrangement is there. So this is the first floor, this is the second floor, this is the third floor, and this is what the fourth floor. Now tell me, which floors are typical floors in this?
First and second.
First and second, because their architectural arrangement or architectural layout is same, because it is what, it is having the same positioning of your bedroom and same position of your WC. It means that overall floor layout is same. At the first floor arrangement, architectural arrangement is same at the first story and second story. Your third story is little bit different, your fourth story is little bit different, but your first and second are same. That's why we can call it as first and second floor are typical floor to each other. They are same to each other. Is it okay? Now
Yes,
let's
sir.
try to understand.
Yes, sir.
Suppose G plus, okay, let's consider this example. G plus 30 floor building is there. G plus 30th floor building is there, and out of which your 5th to 10th stories are typical, and um 20 to 25th stories are typical. 5th to 10th are typical, means their architectural arrangements are same at the floor level from 5th to 10th, and then 20 to 25, these all are same. These 5 floors are same and these 5 floors are same. Are you getting? Now see what is going to be happen. Suppose whatever the things 5 to 10 is same, 5 to 5 to 10th are same. Okay, so these 5 are same basically. So suppose this is a one floor, okay, this is the second, like that. So suppose I'm working on the 5th story, and the same work I have to do for the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I right? The same thing. Suppose I have to assign the load to this beam as 10 kilonewton. As 10 kilonewton. So the same work I have to do for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I right? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, same thing I have to do for all this story. So if I am doing all this thing for each individual floor, so it is not my wasting of time. If I am doing individually for all these slabs, all these floors. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is the wasting of time. Again, there's a typical floor from 20 to 25th. 20 to 25th, it is similar. Suppose I have to assign the slab load at 20th floor. Okay. So that load I have to assign 21, 25, 26, 20, 24, 25. So the same thing I have to do 4 times. So that is again, that is my wasting of time. I can save my time. So ETAB has given the option of similar stories. Hello. For all the typical stories, for all the similar work, for the different stories. In the first story, there you can work only one story. In the all story, you can execute for all story. But for the similar story option, you can work for the multiple floors of required selected floors. Here there is no option. In all stories, is there any option? If you are doing anything, that will be executed at all the floors. So is there any option to neglect any floor with all story?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
If you are working with the all story option, suppose I want to assign the loading to all the slabs, but I don't want to assign the loading at 5th and 7th, but I'm working with the all story option. So without of your intention, this is going to be assigned to all the story. So you don't have an option to left these 2 floors if you are working with the all story. And if you are working with the one story, so that will be executed only for one story. So that's why for your demanding floors, the next next option will come into the picture as similar story. So in our example, what we have seen, 5th to 10th, 5th to 10th are similar, and 20 to 25th are similar. So first we have to say to ETAB software which floors, which slabs and which levels are similar to each other. It is understood? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming back to ETABs, go to file, go to edit, go to edit story data. We have worked over this option later previously. Just click over this option. Go to modify. Now we don't want to work in plan. We want to work over the elevation. Just click over this. So all the stories now available here. Tell me, which stories are similar to each other? Fast.
5 to 10
5 to 10.
and
So
20.
this is what their height, their respective height. This is what, this is the cumulative height from the ground. And this is what story. Very important. You all are with me or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I have to make any one of the similar story as master. So our 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these all are similar to each other. So out of this similar to each other, we need to make any one of as master story. So I want to make 5th story as master. Make it as master, yes. Then similar to your 6th story is similar to what? Hello? Hello?
Story
Fifth
5.
story.
5th.
Story
Your
5.
7th story is similar to what?
5th.
Fifth story.
8th is similar to what?
5th.
5th. 9th is similar to 5th. 10th is also similar to 5th. Okay. This is done. Now next, 20 to 25 are similar to each other. 20 to 25. Where it is? Yeah. 20. So what we have to do it? Hello?
Master.
Yes. So
Yes.
anyone you can make master. No problem. So I'm going to make 20 as master. Yes. Then 21 similar to your 20. 22 is similar to 20. 23rd is similar to 20. 24 is similar to 20. And 25th as similar to 20. Okay. But actually what? 40 is also master, so change it to no. So no option will be there only. Okay, so only your 20 is similar to your 21 to 25 similar to 20, and your 20 is what? Master. So basically this is done. Now say okay. Now say okay. Let's see. I am working with the similar story option. Go to plan. Go to fifth story. अभी यहाँ पर बताइए, अगर मैं एक स्लैब को सिलेक्ट करूंगा तो कितने स्लैब सिलेक्ट होंगे?
5.
5. Okay, because I am at the fifth story and working with the similar story option, यहाँ पर मैं एक स्लैब को सिलेक्ट करता हूँ. So how many slabs is in selection? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. 6 will be there. Try to understand. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it correct? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So 6 selection. ओके, अभी यहाँ पर आपका ये मीनिंग नहीं है कि आप अगर मास्टर स्टोरी सिमिलर स्टोरी के साथ वर्क कर रहे हो सो आपको मास्टर स्टोरी पर ही काम करना है. यू डोंट नीड टू वर्क ओनली इन मास्टर स्टोरी. मैं 6 स्टोरी पर भी अगर सिलेक्शन करूंगा तब भी सेम एग्जीक्यूशन होगा. 6 स्टोरी से हाउ मेनी सेल्स इज इन सिलेक्शन? 6. Okay, 6. So it is not the meaning that you have to work only on master. You can work on at master or similar also. It is understood. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, coming to go to plan. Now come to the 20th story. 20 say apply, and we are working with the similar story option. Just clear this and click over this. So 6 shells is in selection. Coming down, coming up. So this is in selection 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Now move to the next. No selection will be there. Just right click on the window, show selected object. So see, take the 3D view. So only this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 shells are in selection. So that is the application of similar story command. It is understood or not? So coming back to next point. Okay, commands of editing existing model for dividing beams, slabs and joining beams and slab. Can you wait for 2 minutes? Hello. The next point is what? Editing command we are trying to understand. So commands of editing existing model for dividing the beams, adding the beams, dividing the slabs, adding the slabs, like all that things we are trying to understand. Okay, so go back to ETABS and let's see. Suppose a beam is there like this. Now I want to break this beam into 3 parts. I want to divide this beam into 3 parts. So how I can do this? So select the frame, and as it is the edit work, so go to editor and edit frame, divide frame option is there. I want to break it into 3 parts, divide into 3 frame objects. Just say put 3. Now say apply. Let's see. First, second, third. Understood? Very simple. Not much complicated. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to join this frame. So select the frame, this frame, this frame, and the joint about which you want to add. Okay, join. Then go to edit, go to edit frame, join frame, just click here, so it will be joined. Hello. Again I want to break it into 2 parts, so select the frame, go to edit frame, go to divide frame and put as 2. Now say apply. So it has been divided into 2 parts. Then select this frame and the join, then go to edit frame, just say join frame. So this is done. So that is the application, how you can divide the frame and how you can add the frame. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, this option of dividing, it is dividing into equal parts, right?
Yes.
If we don't want to divide it into equal parts, then is there any option?
Exactly. Yes. See, suppose what you need to do, then there will be a roll of grid line. Okay, just right click here, show grid system. Suppose I want to break this beam. Okay, this is a complete beam. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I want to break this beam at this joint that you are asking.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So suppose this is the frame and I want to break at this point. So first select the frame and the joint about which you want to break or at which you want to break the frame. Then go to edit, then go to edit frame and then go to divide frame. Then the second option is there, break at intersection with selected frame and join. Now say apply. Now see, it is divided into two parts. Now it's okay.
Yes, sir.
And then if you want to join this, select these two frame and the join, then close this, go to editor, go to edit frame, go to join frame. So now it is going to be added in single part. So this is the way how you can divide the frame and how you can add the frame. Next thing, how you can divide the slab. So basically what, whenever you are having the beam, whenever suppose that this is a single slab is there like this, along its all four sides beams are there, along its all four sides beams are there, and this is what is the slab. But suppose a beam is coming in between of this slab, a beam is coming in between of this slab. Okay, so whenever the beam is going to become in between of this slab, you need to break the slab. Hello.
Yes,
What
sir.
you have to do?
Yes.
You have to break the slab, and whenever the beam is going to be removed, you have to add the slab. Can you repeat this once? Hello. In general cases, okay, can you repeat this once? Whenever you are having the slab and the beam is coming inside of that slab, so you have to break the slab about that frame. And whenever the existing beam is going to be removed, then you have to add the slabs. Hello. Understood or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes, sir.
Suppose, okay,
Yes.
take the beam, just close this. So I want to take the beam from here to here. So the beam is now coming. So what I need to do, I need to break this slab. Select the slab and I want to break this slab about this frame. Then go to edit. Now at this time we need to go to edit shell, divide shell. And with the first option, cookie cut floor, add selected frame and object, check this option. Now say apply. See, it is divided into two parts. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now see what
Yes,
is
sir.
next. Suppose this frame is now is going to be deleted. Now I need to, now it is okay. Can I go with these divided slabs? No. How load transfer will be there? It should be single unit. So first select this slab, then this slab, then go to editor and go to edit shell, say merge shell. I want to add these two slabs, just say merge shells. Now say okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Again, these are single two slabs are there. Okay, I want to by it is needed to delete this beam. Select this beam, just say delete. So now beam is deleted. I want to add these two slabs, so just select these two slabs and go to editor, go to edit shell and just say merge shell. So this window will open. Now simply say okay. So this will be added. It is understood or not?
Yes, sir.
So this is the way how you can divide the shell and how you can add the shell. How you can merge the shell and how you can split the shell. How you can divide the beams in different parts of equal spacing and how you can divide the beams of different spacing. So this is all of editing the existing element. So go to edit frame, divide frame. So all these points now covered. Just close this, go to edit shell, a divide shell and merge shell.
Yes, sir.
Some other things are there that I will cover in modeling section in simple project. It is understood or not? Hello,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
coming back. So these commands of editing existing model for dividing the beams, slabs and joining the beams and slab, this is all done. Now next point is what? Assigning of the load, point load. So is there any need to discuss this point because we have covered this? Then you are knowing how to assign the UDL load. Is there any need to discuss this assigning of the UDL?
No, sir.
No,
UDL.
sir.
So you are knowing all of these things, okay? And aerial load. Just how you can assign the area load that you can understand. Okay, so go to it as very simple. Area load means what? The slab load, the load that you are going to assign over a particular area, over a particular width and length. So that is what area load. Select this slab, go to assign, go to shell load. See, point load we have discussed, frame load we have discussed. Now last is what? Shell load. So uniform load. We want to provide uniformly distribution load over the slab. We want the distribution of the load uniformly over the slab. Okay, how much load we have to assign? Suppose 2 kilonewton, 2 kilonewton per meter square. So it is what? Aerial load. It is what? Hello. For the case of residential building, for the normal bedroom. Oh, okay, first tell me which code will decide how much load, live load you have to assign for your structure. Which code will define how much load, live load you have to assign over your slab? Sorry,
IS 875 part 2.
IS 875 part
Part 2.
2. Yes, Deep.
Yes, sir. Live load.
Live load. Abhishek,
Yes, sir.
which code will define how much live load you have to assign for this slab?
Part 2, sir.
IS 875 part 2. So if you are remembering, how much live load you have to assign for this slab?
3 kilonewton per meter square.
Per meter or per meter square?
Per
Meter
meter.
square.
Per meter square. So normally for the residential building, for the normal bedrooms and like rooms, so you have to assign 2 kilonewton per meter square. How? How much? Hello.
2 kilonewton per
2
meter square.
kilonewton per meter square. And another thing try to understand. See, suppose this is the slab and this is divided. So it is not the meaning that, try to understand, 2 kilonewton load, it is not the meaning that 2 kilonewton over the entire area. 2 kilonewton per meter square we are going to assign. So only for this part we are going to assign how much? 2 kilonewton per meter square. 2 kilonewton per meter square for this 1 meter and 1 meter. That will become per meter square. Are you getting my point? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So for every 1 meter square area, we are going to assign 2 kilonewton per meter square. Now tell me my next question to all of you. Why we are assigning 2 kilonewton? Why your code is suggesting 2 kilonewton? Why it is not 20? Why it is not 200? Why? Code has said 2, so you will accept 2. Why it is not 200? Why it is not 400? Why it is not 1?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, because of 1 by 1 square, 1 by 1, 1 by 1, that
What
is
1 by
square.
1?
When it's there,
Sorry?
1 meter by 1 meter square is there.
Yeah, 1 by 1 meter square is there, and for the 1 meter by 1 meter area, code suggested 2 kilonewton we should consider. So why 2? It should be
For
200.
residential
Because
Yes.
building, live load will
slab
be less and span of the slab is also less for residential building.
Okay, residential building, but it should be 200 also. It will be 2, 4. Why only 2? There is some practical approach is there. Some logical reason and actual reasoning should be there. Why?
It will be within the safe limit of the structure.
Safe limit of structure. So for the safe limit of structure, if it will be better if you are taking more load. So that will be 5, 10. Why 2?
Sir, there may be a reason that it will not exceed concrete strength. Uh,
No, there is no concern of the uh, whatever the loading is going to become over your structure. Accordingly, you have to design. So that doesn't matter. But the matter is what? Why you are considering this much load for the residential building? Okay. So actually, okay, coming back. First of all, tell me what is the conversion factor between your kilonewton to kg? What conversion factor? Okay, so the actually conversion factor from your kilonewton to kg is what? Exact conversion factor is 101.97. What? Hello, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
But by round off and by for practice, we are considering as round off as 100. Can we consider this or not? Hello.
yes.
Yes. So suppose 2 kilonewton has suggested by the code. So 2. How much in kg it will become?
200.
200 now. Tell me, sorry, 200 kg. Tell me what is the average weight of single person?
70.
You all
60,
are
70.
agree between 60 to 70, Pratik?
60, 70. Yes, sir.
Okay. So 200 divided by 60 to 70, let's say 65. Or you can take 70 also. Tell me what answer you are getting?
3.07.
3.07. So let it be round up as 3. 3 numbers. So 2 kilonewton load we are going to assign for a particular 1 meter square area, 1 meter by 1 meter square area. We are going to assign 2 kilonewton per meter square area, 2 kilonewton load per meter square area. Means that what we are going to consider, how many number of people will stand over 1 meter square area?
3.
3. So it is practical or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So see that
Yes, sir.
code is considering for 1 meter square area, it is considering that at least 3 person can stand and will stand over 1 meter square area. And that's why it is going to be considered 2. But if you are designing some other structure where you are knowing the more crowds is going to become, so you can increase it to 3, 4 like that. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Pratik, Atif, Abhishek.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that is
Yes.
actually the reason. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is very important conversion factor. As a structural engineer, you should know, it should be known to you. If you are facing any interview, they will ask this question. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Coming back to our discussion. So suppose you want to assign 2 kilonewton over this slab. Very simple. First select the slab, go to assign, go to shell, uniform load. So the point where was coming from this point, uniform load means we are going to assign uniform load for every 1 meter square area. Try to understand the drawing. Okay. So it is, let's say, 1 by 1 by 1. So 2, 2, 2, 2 like that. So it is what actually 2. At all location 2 meter square area we are going to assign uniformly distributed load. Okay, so this we are going to assign. So it is not the meaning that only 2 kilonewton you are going to spread over the entire area. Understood? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then just clear this all. First select the slab. Once shell is in selection, go to assign, go to shell load, go to uniform, and as per your requirement, under any load pattern you can assign. So I want to assign live, say 2. Now say apply. Gravity, you don't need to put minus sign. By default, gravity direction is there, and you are knowing what is the application of this add, replace, delete, and now say apply. So this load, select this slab and just put 2, say apply. Actually the problem is little bit different. So okay, I am going to define another slab here. See this slab, select this slab 2, now say apply. Is it okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
this
sir.
is the way how you can assign the shell load or area load. So this is again done. Go back to our points. What is the load pattern? How to define section properties? Next is what? How to define the material properties and section properties. So go to ETABS and go to file, go to new, go to new model, say no. Go with the third option, say okay. Let it be all. Just say grid, now say okay. Next point is what? We need to define the material. See, basically what? Whatever, if you are going to start a work in the ATAP software, the first step is what? Modeling. But before of modeling, you need to define something like if you are going to model structure, so you need to define the materials, what materials you want to use for your model. You need to define the section properties of column, beam, slabs, with which you can proceed for the modeling of the structure. So many things you have to define before of the modeling. So how to define the things? So very first thing, you have to decide the material properties. So how to define the material properties? So go to define section, go to material properties. See, in the define section, very first option you will be able to see material properties. So just click over the material properties. Once you click over the material properties, so by default some materials will be there. So that is not needed to have. Let it be as it is. Just say add new material. New dialog box will open. Define material properties. Just say add new material. Once you click over add new material, so this will ask about the region. So our region is what? India. Choose the India. Material type is what? I would like to define first concrete. So just say concrete. Then standard is Indian. Grade, I would like to define M20 grade of concrete. What? M20 grade of concrete. There are many grades, M25, M30, all grades will be there. That the drop down list will be there. So what? M20. Choose this. Now say OK. Once you click over the OK, a new dialog box will open up, will define more information about that material. So material is what? M20. If you want, you can make the change in the name of the material also. You can make the change in the name of the material also. Let it be. Now material type. What material type is there? So it is concrete, directional symmetry. Don't need to do any change here. Hello, you all are with me or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then
Yes, sir.
material display color. It is very important. Just keep in mind, I will take it this point later in detail, but just keep in mind this is having some importance. Material color, let it be. Okay, but I'm not going to discuss over this point, but just keep in mind there is some importance of this material display color. Okay, now can anyone tell me what is the density of concrete? How much the density of the concrete? Pratik?
2500 kg per 2500 kg per m cube.
2500 kg per meter cube. Is it okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And what is the density of steel?
7850.
7.5 kg
Very
per
good.
meter cube.
So the density of concrete is 2500 kg per meter cube, and this is for concrete and this is for steel is actually 27850. Now if I want to convert it in kilonewton per meter cube, if I want to convert it in kilonewton per meter cube, just divide it by
Divided by
what?
100. And 100.
1 not 1.97 exact figure if you are taking, and here 1 not 1.97. Let me know what is the answer. Concrete. How much?
24.51.
24.51.
Sorry,
24.51.
24.51. And for steel,
76.98.
76.98.
983.
Okay. Just keep in mind, coming back to ETABS. Okay. So see, 24.51. So we are getting, see, weight per unit volume. By default, ETABS will give these all things. So is it right or wrong? Hello. Just cross verification I am showing you. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then modulus of elasticity of concrete. So what is the formula for the modulus elasticity of the concrete? So the formula given in IS 456 is 5000 under root of FCK. So this is the formula to calculate the modulus of elasticity of the concrete. Calculate this and verify whether it is right or wrong. Let me know fast.
Right, sir.
बताइए.
Right, sir.
It is matching with the given result.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what
Yeah.
modulus of elasticity of this concrete. Okay. Now next, make sure that go to modify and show material properties. Just click over this and make sure that the compressive strength of the concrete should be what? 20, because we are working with the M20 grade of concrete. So the characteristic strength or compressive strength of the concrete should be what? Hello. It should be 20. Now say OK. Then finally show OK. Once you click over the OK, So this one more material will be added here in the material list. Is that okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this one material. Now next material we have to add as Fe, grade of steel. So go to add new material. Now at this time, now for the steel means what? Here two option you will get. One is rebar and another one is the steel. Steel means what? Your mild steel. Your steel sections. Hello. And if you want to define the rebars, means construction steels for your RCC
HY.
structure, so you have to choose what? Rebar. Hello. Then it will be HYSD. HYSD means what? High yield deformed steel bars. So I want to go with the FE500. Mild steel is also there, but we want to work with the FE415, let's say. So check this one. Now say okay. So more detailed information about this material will be added here. Will be represented by this code software. Change it to FE415. This is our practice. Hello. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Change the name as FE415. Then this is what density was 7850 approximately. Is it right or wrong?
Right.
Then modulus of elasticity is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Then make sure that the strength go to modify. You don't need to do anything here. Let it be. Just I want to show you what all the meanings are given here. Just click over modify and show material property. Then minimum yield strength. So it is the 415, the minimum yield strength. This is the ultimate strength. See, I think you might be seen this curve, stress strain curve. Have you seen this?
Yes, sir.
So this is the yield limit. This is the yield point, or we can say yield strength. So this is what? This is the elastic limit. This is the elastic strength. So it is actually the 415. And this is what the ultimate strength. This is what the ultimate strength. We are representing it by Fu. Am I right or wrong? So definitely your ultimate strength will be greater than yield strength or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
But for a particular material, if you want to find out the ultimate strength, so you need to go to laboratory and you have to perform the test. And after having the test, you will get the exact ultimate strength of that material. But for our application, we are using 10% increased value of your yield strength. If you want to put it manually, so what you have to do? You have to add 10% more to this value. So 415 plus 10%, how much it will become?
456, sir. 56.
456.
456.
Okay. So here by default ETAB is giving 485. That's also correct. But if you want to change it, that you can change it as per your need. So suppose 456. So it will become 456. And these are expected. These are non-linear analysis required values. So it is not needed to discuss it here. It is for non-linear. So don't consider this. Just focus on these two ones. 415. And see, another way is what? Suppose I am taking this 415. So I will be on safer side or on safe side?
Safe.
Safe. Actual capacity, ultimate capacity will be, let's say, 456. But what I am going to consider only strength 415. Actual strength 456, but I am going to consider 415. So I am will be on safer side or unsafe side?
Safe.
Understood? So you can directly go with this also. Okay, so this is your choice. Let it be. And also you can make it as 415, 415. So you will be on more safer side Let it be, say okay. So new material will be added there. New material will be added there. Now say okay. So like this, you can add multiple materials of different grades of the concrete, materials of different grades of the steel. It is understood? Hello. Is there any
Yes,
question?
sir.
Deep.
Sir, what was that? Sir, what was there in material rebar uniaxial?
Sorry. Okay. Let me show you. Where?
Modify and show properties. There, sir. Rebar uniaxial.
Yeah. Material type.
Just
Uh, Actually, it is not editable. It is uniaxially loaded. That is the material property. I think you might be heard about. See, isotropic, non-isotropic, orthogonal, uniaxial, biaxial. Have you heard about? So that all the material properties, Pratik.
okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, that is not
Yes,
much
sir.
having the importance, and even it is not editable. If you are looking, it is not editable.
Yes, sir.
Uniaxial. So it is uniaxial. It is not editable. You can't do anything here. Okay. Now say okay. So this is done. Say okay. Then go to define section. Go to section property. Go to frame section. Now what next point is there? We have to define the section properties. How you can define the section property? So go to define. Go to section. Go to frame section. So first I would like to define the beam property, beam sections. So suppose I have to define two beams, 230 by 450. One beam is there, another beam is there, 230 by 600. Hello. One beam is 230 by 450. Another beam is what? 230 by 600. So how I can define this?
Add new property.
Yes. First, delete all these unnecessary properties. So go to delete multiple properties. Select all of these. Set delete properties. Also select these two, say delete property. Now say okay. One will be there anyhow. So let it be. Then click over add a new property. Once you click over add a new property, so go to concrete rectangular. So many sections are there. Right? Concrete is there, steel is there, special is there, steel composite is there. If you want to define the concrete section, so concrete section will be there only. Only concrete section. Solid concrete, and different shapes will be there, rectangular, circular, T, like this. If you want to define steel, so steel will be there only, I, C, hollow, box, hollow, circular, like that. If you want to define special section, so special section is also available. That will be what? As per your requirement. That will be what? As per your defined geometry. If you want to define this kind of section, here the depth is suppose 500, and here I want to have the depth, let's say 300. So this is what special type of section. If you want to define this kind of section, so you have to work with the special section. Then steel composite. If the section is there where concrete is also there, and if suppose concrete is also there and steel is also there, so that will become composite structure. So that is what you can define different type of section. But here we are interested to define concrete, solid, rectangular. Choose this one. A new dialog box will open. New dialog box will open, and with this dialog box you can define the section. So what we have to define? Either beam or column. Fast. How many sections we have to define?
Two sections. Beam, two sections.
Okay. Two sections we have to define actually. Okay. So let's see. it is what? 230. First section is what? Go back to it as 230 by 450. This section I have to define. Okay. 230 is what?
Width.
Hello. 230 is what?
Width. Width of the beam.
230 is width of the beam and 450 is what? Depth of the beam.
Depth.
Okay. So you have to give the naming of the beam such that it should represent everything of the beam. By just looking over the name of the beam, you can understand everything. How? Let's try to understand. Suppose it is the beam. So I am going to write the name as BM. What it means? Hello? It is the beam. Then it will be 230 means what? Width of the beam. Then 450 is the depth of the beam. 450 is the what? Depth of the beam. And what material I am going to use for this beam? So M20. Understood? Hello? Now it is the right way to write the name of the section. So it is what? By just looking over the section, you can understand everything. It is the beam. It is 230 by 450 and M20. Then material it is asking. So what material will be there? Hello? Two materials will be there in RCC structure. One is your steel, another one is what?
Concrete.
Another will be what?
Concrete.
Concrete. So here, remember, here material means what? You have to define the concrete. Don't do the mistake. So choose a what grade we are going to use. Hello?
M20.
M20. So that material will be available here. And if you are not defined, so that will not be available here. So first we have to define the material. Just choose material. Again, display color. Again, I am taking your concentration here. It is having the importance defining the color. Okay, but I am not going to discuss it here. We will discuss it later. Okay. Now then, this is what? Just name, not define it. So width is what? 230 and depth is what? 450. Now it is done. Accordingly, your section will be very adjusted. Accordingly, your section will be adjusted. Now, can you tell me, by just giving the name of the section, it will become the beam? By just giving the name of the section as beam, so it will become beam. Okay, I am changing it to same column. So it will become column. Hello?
No, sir.
No. So, see, beam, just say modify and show rebar. Just click over this point. Now, it is PMM, means it is column. What does it mean by the PM, 2, 3? I will take it later. But right now, it is what? Column. So, what we want to make it? Either beam or column?
Beam.
Beam. So, choose it as beam. Now, longitudinal bars, Fe415, confinement bars, Fe415, how much cover you want to put, so that you can do here. Suppose the cover I want as 30, what does it mean by the cover and how much to take the cover, that all practical things, we will take it later in detail. But right now, 30 and 30. It is understood? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now it is finally beam. Now say okay. So it will become beam. So representation is what? If you are having nothing in the representation of the reinforcement, you can judge that it is the beam. If you are taking to make it as column, now say okay. So a representation of the reinforcement will be there. It is what? Just for understanding whether it is beam or column. So if you are having reinforcement representation, it means what? Hello? It means what?
Hello.
It means what?
It is column.
Column. And if you are changing to beam, say okay, so nothing will be there. It is understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Just say okay, a new section will be added there. Now you can delete this unnecessary. Okay, 230 by 450 M20. Now just say add a new material, concrete. At this time, beam section size is what? 230 by 600. Hello.
Yes,
How I
sir.
can define? Can anyone guide me? Okay. See, it will be beam 230 by 600 M20, right? Change it to M20. It will be 230 by 600, and go to modify, and it will be what? It should be beam and longitudinal Fe415, confinement will be Fe415. This is what the reinforcement you have to define, and it will be what? Let's say 30. Let's say 30. Now say okay. This is done. Now it is becoming the beam. Now say okay. So the section will be added here as beam. It is understood? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the way how you can define the sections of the beam. How you can define the sections of the beam. Understood? Is there any question? Understood? Is there any question? So see, this is all about today. We will start the discussion from defining of the section again from tomorrow, and we will discuss all the kinds of section definition. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have any question, you can ask. Pratik, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, be present. Now, if you don't have any question, now you can leave the meeting.